Welcome to 2013 Ontario Championships. My name is Steve Carroll. I'm the Executive Director of the Ontario Volleyball Association. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this webcast of the finals for 18U boys and girls. These championships are a showcase for volleyball in Ontario. We hope you enjoy the webcast.
Queen's University, and joining me on the broadcast today is Chris Lawson, head coach of the University of Waterloo Warriors. The teams participating in today's gold medal game are the London Fire Volleyball Club out of London, Ontario, and the Maverick Mustangs out of Ottawa. Both these teams were in one pool during the tournament. They both participated in what was known as the C pool and finished 1-2 in the C pool. In fact, London beat the Ottawa Mavericks in 3 sets with a 15-12 third set. But interestingly, Chris, Mavericks came out storming and won 25-9 in the first set. They served them off the court, and then London made some passing adjustments and bounced back to win. So we're underway here with Ryan Tunders serving for the Maverick Mustangs. And a mishandled pass to start things off. That's Will Otten, who couldn't handle the serve receive.
I think that's going to be a critical factor in this match. The ball control of Mavs versus the sort of power of the London Fire.
Absolutely. And we have Tunders again at 1-0. Back at Otten. Set goes outside. That's a swing by Cole Jordan and a stuff block by Warren Taylor of the Mustangs.
Both teams very strong up the middle here. Very quick, dynamic blockers from the Mavs and big physical guys for London Fire. So that's going to be a great thing to watch all day long.
We'll see if Tunders goes after Otten again. They're moving him up out of the way. Libero takes the first ball. It's off the net. Pipe ball set to Andrew Richards. And another stuff block by Warren Taylor. Again, the Mavs come out storming. They're up 3-0. This is a bit of deja vu from the early round robin match on Saturday. Tunders will put the ball in play at a score of 3-0. Good pass by Libero. That's to Bryce Markison. And Markison is a 7'1" middle. Biggest player in the tournament.
He's really come on too. Last year, he's really grown exponentially in terms of his skill set. It's going to be very interesting to see what kind of player he is in the next couple of years.
Now we have Will Otten putting the ball in play for London Fire. They set middle at Taylor, handled by Marcuson. It's dug up. Ball goes out to Andrew Richards, and he swings hard cross court. Too much for the libero, number 6, Philippe Pichet.
I think the Mavs are going to have to pass really well and just continue to try to freeze those big middles from London and get one-on-one on the outside. That's going to be key, I think.
That's the right side swing. Scores down the line by Nicolas Pernot. Pernot was a big force for the Mavericks in their semifinal where they upset the number 1 seed, Pac-Man, from Mississauga. And now Pernot will put it in play. And a service error by the Maverick Mustangs. And now we have a 1-point set. London Fire trailing 3-4. And big Bryce Markison will put the ball in play.
Certainly Mavs don't want to serve too many balls into the net. I think the Achilles heel for London is their ability to control first contact.
Great surf by Markison, set to the middle to Taylor. Markison digs it up, and they have to free ball it over. Well handled by Pernod. Ball goes outside. Jeremy Cote blocked by Cole Jordan, but it's recovered, and Pernod couldn't get the free ball over the net. We're all tied up, 4-4. Interesting serve by Markison. He can almost float the ball directly downwards while standing on the floor. He's so big. Deep serve. Goes outside to Cote and rejected to the floor by Cole Jordan.
It's going to be interesting to see how this setter for Mavs holds up. He had to leave the semifinal match with an ankle injury, and wondering just how painful it is to move around.
Another serve by Markison. He goes off the tape for an ace, and the London Fire take a 2-point lead. That's a big swing. They're up 6-4. A bit of a mismatch, Cote in power against Cole Jordan, so we'll see if the setter tries to go elsewhere. The ball goes off the block, and Cote will put it in play for the Mustangs. Sets too low. Roos has to put it over net, and Andrew Richards goes high to press the ball over net. Richards is an underage player in this tournament. He's a 17U playing in an 18U championship, one of very few on the floor right now. Here's Cole Jordan from the serving line. He floats the ball at Cote, handled well, set to the right side. Pernod has to roll it over, back set, and Cole Jordan. Big pound by Jordan. Defense couldn't handle it.
Very physical again. Good first contact by the London Fire. Frees the middle on the far side, and that fast back set. Big seam for him to hit in.
Serve goes at Cote. Quick set to Warren Taylor. He goes high and just paintbrushes it to the deep angle. That's a kill for Taylor. That's a big block to pass, though. London Fire's middles are very large. That's kind of a size mismatch, wouldn't you say, Chris?
Absolutely. I think just doing what he did, a little bit of a slower set, cutting the corners, trying to just go over top. London seems to be running a little more 30s to counteract the quickness of the Mavs middles, so it's going to be interesting.
Andrew Richards taking a swing there in power and just trying to carve it inside the block, inches wide. So that's a point for the Maverick Mustangs, and we're back to a 1-point game. Mustangs trail 7-8. Pass goes to Otten. Good set. Again, a little bit slow, and Roos is on his way down, has to tip the ball, catches the blocker on his way down.
They're certainly running that push a lot, but absolutely right. It's got to be sped up considerably. The middle from Mavs had no problem getting over to touch that ball.
There's a spin serve from Andrew Richards, handled by Cote with his hands. Ball goes outside, and that's a huge swing by Scott Bailey on the outside.
So to see if the Mavs can go to town here with the smaller setter at the net, see if that makes a bit of a difference.
Ball's in play. It's a back set to Jordan, and he rolls it into the open court. Comes back over the net, back set pipe. Richards rolls it, handled by the defense. Back to the setter again. And ball's carved down the line by Will Otten. Good ball control there. That's his beach background, I think.
Yeah, it seems every long rally's gone in the favor of London Volleyball Club so far. Just rolling the balls in when they don't have a great attack shot. Trying to let the Mavs make a mistake, just extending the rallies.
The serve off the tape by Aiden Roos. Barely handled, ball goes outside. It's rejected by Otten's block. Goes back to power, and Nicolas Pernon tips into the open court. That pot seems vulnerable.
If it works for them, it works for us, I guess, right? Everybody's got strapped on expecting the hard hits that you often see at 18U level. The off-speed stuff is the stuff that's scoring most predominantly right now.
Our server is Scott Bailey. Goes at Otten. They seem to be using him as a target. Bailey digs the ball, goes outside, and Cote right in the pot, but Otten's there this time. And then Cote tips over the setter. Brad Hawken just can't elevate quite to the same level. He's a little bit smaller, and no defense there. But that's twice the Maverick Mustangs have tipped while the London middle was serving. And those big middles, it's not a bad strategy to drop a ball in front of them. Here we go, Bryce Markison scores to 5, and libero Philippe Pichet couldn't handle the dig. Brad Hawken will serve for the Fire. Backcourt setter now should be to the advantage of the Fire. Float serve, goes deep, well handled, big set against the flow to Nicolas Piernot, and defense couldn't handle it.
Just an example of middles guessing, right? Middle from London took a guessed wrong, and whatever that happens, bad things.
Sorry, Chris, I just wanted to say that's an impressive back set by Eric Lavallée-Funston, because not many setters at 18U can run forward and go against the flow like that.
He's a very physical young man. He absolutely has a great set of shoulders on him. Jumps high. He's not that tall, but very, very physical.
And London Fire came right back at them with a good pass and a set to Markison, and he put it away. So we're at 12-11 for London. Good float serve at Cote. Eric sets it back, and that's off Markison's face. And I wonder if he's seeing double right now. I've seen that turn into a concussion more than once.
Just a little bit late with his press.
For sure. Okay. Pernot goes at the libero. It's mishandled. He has to bump set it. Cole Jordan goes high off the hands. It's Doug. Cote rejected by Markison. Back set. And Pernot pounds the ball off Andrew Richards' block. And Maverick Mustangs take their first lead since the early going. They're up 13-12. And a service error by the Mustangs. We talked about that earlier, going to be key to their success. They need to serve tough, because if London Fire pass well, they can use those Giants in the middle. And speaking of Giants, here's Markison on the serving line. Good float serve handled by Cote. Dug by London's defense. Goes outside. Richards continues the ball. A dump. Dug by Big Bryce Marcuson. Good job there. And Cote rejected by Ruse. Dug up. And Warren Taylor makes his presence known in transition. Deep shot to 5.
But I think that first contact being closer to the center of the court is going to be very important for the Mavs. When they push the ball to the sides like they have the last couple of balls, the London middles are able to move over and get a very solid block. When they pass the ball center of the court, the middles have a little more opportunity to cut, and it's creating better seams for the outside hitters.
Okay, Mustangs are going to put it in play. This is Jeremy Cote serving at 14-13. Waiting for the location call from his bench. Jump serve. Handled by Richards perfectly. And that's Matthew Donovan, who just entered the game, swinging for broke in the middle, and he scores to tie the game up. Now we have Cole Jordan serving for London Fire. He's going to float, deep float. They seem to be going at Cote. That's handled a little tight. And setter Eric Lavallée-Funston get called for a held ball, trying to one-handed set that. Cole Jordan once again on the serving line. Another deep float at Cote, mishandled again. Libero has to set it. Oh, and a very nice swing by Scott Bailey, using the arms of Matt Donovan.
Cote just needs to take a bit of a breath. He's a very emotional player, very high energy guy. Just needs to relax, let the ball come to him.
Fairly experienced player. So Warren Taylor goes into the back row and floats the ball at Richards, well handled again. And there's Matt Donovan with the big cutback swing. Big swing by Donovan. Couldn't be handled by the defense. And Fire goes up 1, 16-15. Here comes Andrew Richards. This time he's floating at Cote, handled. And Scott Bailey, taking advantage of the small setter, scores down the line. Setter Eric Lavallée-Funston now in the back row. Good float serve at Richards. Mishandled, got a bump set. Goes out to Will Otten. And then Richards on the pipe. Uses the edge of the block and Tunder's arm to deflect the ball to the floor. London hanging in with a 1-point lead once again, 17-16. And now Matthew Donovan will serve. Donovan with the deep float at Cote, mishandled. They got a bump set. Put in play by Pernot, back set. Cole Jordan had to fix. goes outside. And that's an attack error by the right side hitting left side for the Maverick Mustangs, Nicolas Pernod, just a little wide. Good serve by Matt Donovan. And now it's Nicolas Pernod trying to go down the line low. And
Mavs need a timeout here, I would think.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
I think you'd know this game. You predicted that. I think you know this game.
Well, first contact is the key to their success, and they just mishandled 3 balls in a row. It's definitely time to get the kids to calm down.
When I talked to the coaches before the match, one of the things Frank St. Denis, Maverick Mustangs head coach, said is we have to pass really well and get their middles committing with our middles. Because if we can isolate that and set outside, we'll be okay. But if we don't pass well and we're predictable and they can close, we're probably in trouble.
They've done a good job so far on Cole Jordan. He's having to hit the ball very high. He's chosen to roll on a number of occasions. And if they can get that big, powerful kid rolling, that's really fantastic work by them. But they need that first contact for sure. Absolutely.
In earlier action, when the Mustangs won the first set against London Fire, they pretty much served them off the court. But so far, Fire's passing the ball much better than they did in the round robin, and consequently they're up 19-16. Once again, Matthew Donovan serving. He goes with the float at Scott Bailey, and Bailey pounds the ball off Will Otten for a point. 2-point set now. The Mustangs will put it in place. Scott Bailey serving. Mustangs down 17-19. Bailey with the float serve, handled by Richards, but not well. And I think London Fire got a big break there. The mishandled serve, the setter was about to step off the court and would have been called out, and a random ball rolled into the court to cause a reserve. So we stay 19-17, and once again Scott Bailey. This time at Otten, who handles it well. Middle set, Markison, and it's well handled. Markison standing on the ground stuffed that ball. And questionable lack of call there on a double hit at Eric Lavely. Funston trying to pull a ball off the net. I think it should have been called for a double hit.
It'll be interesting to see how the referees handle that. Big crowd, big game, if they're going to get involved or just stay to the sideline.
Nicolas Pernod busting the seam once again. Yeah, that's a tough go, because when they block line like that, Markison has a long way to go. Very tough for him to close with that slower first step when you're so big.
Again, key to the Mavs: pass the ball well, center of the court, make those middles, pin them in the middle, and make them move long way outside.
That's Tunder's putting the ball in play. It's well handled. Otten goes off the block, but it's dug by Pernod. Set goes outside, and Nicolas Pernod goes off the top of the hands for a Maverick Mustangs point.
Doing a great job of that setting. It's just fast enough that the big middle can't get there and penetrate, so he's able to play off those high hands.
And we're a 1-point set now. Ryan Tunder is putting it in play at 19-20. Mishandled by Libero, saved by Jordan, and it's free balled over the net. Back at Pernod, and he rips the ball down the line. Will Otten's got his hands full in that matchup. And Coach Wayne Rabley calling a timeout at 20-20.
Certainly the right side attacking has been key to the Mavs so far. They pass a good ball high to the center of the court, pin that middle, and snap it back. The middle just can't close. He's getting there, but doesn't have time to penetrate, and he's just offering great hands for the outside attacker to work off.
Going to be really critical for the smaller outside blockers of London Fire to be disciplined and go straight up and just try to get positive touches and allow their defense to convert those back into transition balls. Right now they're reaching and getting tooled, very undefendable type situation.
I think certainly with the number of balls that the Mavs are running up the middle, London might be better served by just having their left sides not help at all inside. Just get out there, be nice and strong and stable on the outside.
Absolutely.
One-on-one in the middle.
Oh, we're back to action in this gold medal game at the 18U Ontario Provincial Championships at Rim Park in Waterloo. I'm Brenda Willis, coming to you with Chris Lawson. in this gold medal game. We're all tied up at 20-20 in the first set. Good serve, but well handled. They run what's known as a tandem, or an inside second man. And Cole Jordan decides to tip back against his approach, finds a bit of a reaching block, and scores. 21-20, London Fire.
Interesting choice when you have one of the strongest, most powerful attackers out there on the left side. Just put it up there and let him go up and get it.
Great recovery off a tool shot. Free balled over by Cole Jordan. It's handled well by Pernot. Goes outside, and Warren Taylor swings on a push quick and catches the baseline. We're all tied up at 21. Nicholas Pernot, the right side, will now put it in play for the Maverick Mustangs. It's a great gold medal game. You look for a nice close final in front of a huge crowd like this.
Absolutely.
Pernot floats deep at Will Otten. Well handled. Ooh. Setting error. That's where you get a young setter, Brad Hawken, trying to go against the flow, but on a ball that maybe he didn't get quite underneath and misset the ball into the antenna.
It'll be interesting to see if London makes any defensive adjustments between sets. Right now on the wings, they're playing fairly high up, and the smaller middles out of Mavericks are unable to hit that really sharp deep ball or sharp.
Sorry, Chris, that spectacular running save there to keep the ball alive.
Good swing.
And unfortunately, Cole Jordan couldn't get to the inside set, and trying to fix it, he sent it way deep wide. So now, Maverick Mustangs breaking away 23-21 in this first set. Of course, the first set is to 25. You have to win by 2. And
it's amazing the momentum switches already in this very short game. This is a dangerous time for the London Fire team. The Mavs have always been a very emotional team, and when they get on a bit of a roll, they really grow. And if you can put them down for a couple of balls, they'll have a tendency to sit there for a bit. It takes them a while to fight back. So it's really important, I think, that London comes out of this timeout with a positive play right now.
Yes, absolutely. And I think to Maverick Mustangs' credit, they've earned these 2 points. Particularly with a spectacular diving save out the baseline on a ball that against most defenses would have scored. Okay, we're back to action. London Fire have used both their timeouts. Mustangs have used one. Nicholas Pernot serving at 23-21. Good pass, goes outside, Andrew Richards, and he cuts down inside the block. Couldn't be handled by Philippe Pichet, the libero for the Maverick Mustangs, and we're a 1-point set again at 22-23. And the big man, Bryce Markison, will put the ball in play. They've
had a tough time with his serve so far, so this is a huge serve for him and a huge pass for the Mavs.
Yes, and a front row setter, so they only have 2 attackers. Cote hits to 6, it's handled by Otten. And Andrew Richards hits line, handled by Pichet. Cote tipping, it's rejected by Matt Donovan. Back to Cote, he has to roll. Great decision by Cole Jordan to stay down. I think Jordan knew he would have gotten tooled if he went up, and so he gave him the open lane, and Cote went wide with it.
Something about this angle of that ball coming from this huge server that's really throwing the passers off. It's not a really hard ball, but they're really having trouble passing it.
23-all. Quick set. Warren Taylor swing goes wide. Oh, you hate to see errors at this point in a set.
It's amazing the emotional swings, right?
Absolutely.
Just up 1 minute, down the next.
And Fire has come back all the way to 24-23. They're up 1 point and serving for the first set in this gold medal game at the Ontario 18U Provincial Championships.
It's interesting when you watch the demeanor of the two teams. The Mavs are a very energetic team, up and down in the way they play. The Mavs, although they've had runs and given up runs, they seem to be a lot calmer all the time on the floor. No real huge celebrations when they do something good. No real low depressions when something bad happens. They're much calmer, much more even keel team.
Absolutely. So no pressure on the big man with the serve at 24-23 in a gold medal game. But there is certainly some pressure on the serve receivers. Again, we have a front row setter for the Maverick Mustangs, and a setter who likes to dump, so we'll see what happens here. Mercuson with a great serve. Has to set back to Pernod. He's up early. And he tips into the pot, and that's the third time that the Mustangs have tipped the ball in front of the big man. It seems to be part of their game plan, and it's been effective. That was an important point. We're now tied at 24. Cote to serve. And that's long. It's a little bit too much energy in that man.
That was very close. I'm surprised London was able to lay off on that ball.
Yeah, it dropped at the last second. I thought it was going to soar, but then it bottomed out, but just out. Cole Jordan with a great serve at Cote. They come out to Bailey, blocked by Donovan. Rejected, goes back. Donovan, Richards. Jordan gets it over, free ball, fast set, and Warren Taylor pounds it off the two-man block. Taylor's really grown into a force for this Maverick Mustangs team.
Still struggling with first contact, but energy on defense is allowing them to extend that play and score there.
And we're tied at 25. Float serve, well handled by Richards. Middle set to Donovan, right through the arms of Tunders. It's now 26-25, and another set point for the London Fire. We'll see what Andrew Richards does here. He's got a great spin serve. Looks like he's going to go for it. Big heat, handled well, goes outside. Scott Bailey off the hand, saved by Richards. Goes out to Cole Jordan, who controls it over. Well handled back to Bailey, and Bailey slices it into the net. And that's the first set. London Fire, the third seed in this tournament, beats the Maverick Mustangs 27-25. The teams will change sides, Chris. We'll have about a 2 or 3 minute interval, and then we'll back at action. Any thoughts on the first set?
Again, I just think the emotional control shown by the London Volleyball Club allowed them to stay a little calmer when they were up or when they were down. The Mavs just acting like Mavericks, really, just wild horses, being a little unreined in certain times and allowing London to get runs, especially on first contact. I think they played pretty well once they got the ball in play, but that first contact is putting them in a bit of trouble right now.
One of the things that I've been impressed with is Cole Jordan's shot choice and blocking choices. He's a very experienced player, and you know, there were times when I used to see him go for the big bang even on a virtually unhittable ball, and now he's totally recognizing when the ball needs to be fixed and continued, and when he buried some impressive shots early, but then just kept balls going, controlling the offense and waiting for the right opportunity to score.
I think one of the hardest lessons for young outside hitters to learn, it's even a challenge at the university level, to get guys to recognize when to take chances and when not to take chances, and he's being really smart right now.
Yeah, apparently someone wrote a book called Real Men Don't Tip, and there are a few teams that kind of swear by that, but you know, the point is the same size,
Absolutely.
whether you tip or roll.
If you're secure enough in your manhood, you're okay to tip that ball, just like wearing pink. No, you're all right.
No question, looking at Cole Jordan, he should be secure in his
very
manhood.
secure, very secure.
So we have a crowd of, I would say, somewhere in the realm of 500-600 people here watching this gold medal game. And of course, there's still action going on several courts as the women's gold is going concurrently. There's also a bronze medal going behind us and consolation finals in the back. So, you know, 3 solid weekends of action, everything from 13U all the way up to 18U. Ontario Volleyball's done a fabulous job of hosting this spectacular championship, and it's been at Rim Park for many years now, I think 6 or 7 years, I'm not sure exactly, but every year it gets a little more refined, and it's a very professional show. It's spectacular.
Anybody involved in volleyball has to be really happy with the growth, the athleticism, the energy, the crowds, just the way the game has developed over the last 5-10 years has been phenomenal, and certainly OVA should be really congratulated on deciding to go to this kind of venue where huge crowds, huge participation, all age levels present. It's been really good for the sport, I think.
Yes, I was president of Ontario Volleyball back when we sat at the table and thought, how can we make the Ontario Championships something more than just another tournament? And how can we help prepare Ontario teams for the national championships? And the vision of the people at the table was to try to mirror the national championships and run a multi-court massive venue with as many age groups present as possible and really make it special. All right, we're back to action here, starting off Nicholas Pernaud given way too much line, and he finds that the defense can't handle that line shot. They're going to have to block that ball a little bit further out.
The most important shot in the young right side's repertoire for sure. Can you hit that deep line shot?
So the Mavericks make a statement right off. They go up 1-0, and Pernaud will put it in play. Goes at Richards. Ball goes to Jordan, and there it is again. That set was dying inside, a little low, and he found a way to score. Good on him, Cole Jordan.
I think the Mavs are playing a little too much perimeter right now. I mean, the London team has put them consistently in trouble with that tip shot and start to recognize when the set is not ideal for the hitter and adjusting defensively.
The serve by Will Otten just misses about 2 inches too low and catches tape. So that's a Maverick Mustang point, and it's 2-1. Jeremy Cote will put it in play. He's changing his position, wants to serve differently. Float serve straight ahead. Handled, goes against the flow to Cole Jordan. And there's the big bang I spoke about, waiting for that right set, and he's unstoppable when things are perfect. We'll see if Marcuson's serve continues to give Mustangs trouble. At 7-1, it's an interesting angle for passers. Ball goes outside. Big block by Matt Donovan as he stuffs the ball to the floor.
Mavs are making it a little bit tough on the libero. The left side's bailing out there awful fast.
Yeah. Scott Bailey wants to get a full approach and is facing a pretty big block. We'll see if they serve at the libero. Philippe Pichet again. No, at Bailey this time. Eric goes back to Pichet, and he has to fix. Great save by Andrew Richards, but there's no left side in the play. It's got to be free balled. Back set goes out to Bailey. Great. And a flying effort by Philippe Pichet, but unfortunately you can't go off the sport court to retrieve that ball.
Mavs definitely need to get their emotions under control here. Relax, take a breath.
We're at 4-2 London. Marcuson, great serve. Pichet can't handle it. I must commend head coach Wayne Rabley with the London Fire. This is a brand new club out of London. Many of these players played in different clubs last year. I think 3 different clubs are represented, and he's pulled this group together tremendously. In fact, early on they were in Tier 2. Marcuson just misses. Just misses. That ball is long by about 4 inches.
Just thinking to myself that this team is doing it right. They've shown progressive development every single tournament. You know, not peaking too soon, taking their time with their seasonal plan, really training the athletes well. So they've actually improved their performance tournament after tournament after tournament. Each tournament they finished better than the last.
Sorry, great serve by Warren Taylor. It has to be free balled over the net. Eric goes outside, and Scott Bailey can't reach the set. So that ball goes back to London Fire, and they take their biggest lead, 6-3. Putting the ball in play now is Cole Jordan. Let's switch these. And unfortunately, he's unsuccessful at that attempt, and now we have a 2-point set at 4-6. And now setter Eric Lavalier-Funston will put the ball in play. Float serve goes at Andrew Richards. It's off the net. Ball gets hit outside, and Richards comes underneath with the cross-court swing again. He's hit that shot 3 times now.
Yeah, I think we need to see some adjustments. Let's offer him a little bit of line. Let's see if we protect the heart of the court.
Or at least drop the inside arm if you're the middle blocker.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrew Richards serving with the big spin. And Cote handles it well, goes outside. Scott Bailey with the big, that was Nicholas Pernaud with the big bang. Now Bailey to serve. Deep float, handled by Richards. Goes back, Jordan. That's a bit of a mismatch. Jeremy Cote at 6'1", and Cole Jordan at 6'4" with a big jump. And he goes off the top for a point.
Yep, just
so
put
we're
the
now
ball up
8-5.
there for him. Yeah, just put the ball up for him and let him go hit it hard.
Horseshoes for Matthew Donovan as he brushes tape and the ball drops over the net.
Gotta hate those dribblers.
Deja vu.
Maybe it wasn't luck.
I don't know. Do you coach that skill, Chris?
We try to get it close to the tape, but that's a little too much to ask, I think, from that distance. Twice in a row. I think I might ask him in my timeout here to make sure the next one's a little higher.
Yeah. Coach Francois St. Denis calling timeout, and necessarily so at 10-5. He may be asking his middle blocker to hover at the net and make sure he takes the sniveler that catches tape and falls over.
That's right. Yeah, every pass, someone has to have that responsibility, and too often middles are bailing out very quickly. You know, when you see a serve coming low like that, for sure, someone's got to get it.
Yeah, so that's 2 lucky breaks. Some might call it skill, but I'll call it lucky breaks for London Fire as 2 sniveler serves catch tape and just dribble over the net, almost unpassable unless you're standing right there. So we'll see what Matt Donovan comes back with this time, and if they've changed their serve receive. I think a good idea for Eric Lavallée-Funston to keep his eye on that serve and the tape as the ball comes over. It's a tough rotation for the middle to look after it when he's coming all the way from right front.
Pretty tough ball here, yeah.
A little higher, handled well by Cote, back set to Pernod, and again the big gap. I think a case of Will Otten going a little bit past the ball there and taking too much line.
He's definitely on fire, this guy. He's been carrying the load for them right now. We need a couple other guys to step up here and start spreading the offense around.
Okay, and here we have Ryan Tunders on the serving line. Tunders also serving a low float into the net, so Mavericks have got to keep serving tough and pull them up. We can't be giving away points if you are looking to earn a gold medal. Brad Hawkins served the ball, goes to Cote, handled by Hawkins. Markison sets the ball outside. Will Otten tries to do a self-continued shot, but the offensive coverage just wasn't there.
You can see that even in the celebration there, the Mavs were a little bit down, kind of, even though we made a block, a little bit of a negative celebration after, or action and frustration. Mavs really need to relax. This is a tough game to lose control of your emotions.
7-11, Pernod serves, well handled by the libero, goes outside, and Cole Jordan. I think actually that ball's still a little low for Cole Jordan. He has to bring his arm down to meet that ball. He's not at the top of his jump, but he's able to place it into a hole, and that's a London Fire point.
A bit of a trade-off there, that fast, low set, getting it out there very quick so the middle didn't have a chance to respond. And when you hit it that hard, still pretty tough ball to dig.
You know, it almost looks like Warren Taylor's trying to hit the ball too hard right now. He's dropping his elbow and pumping to get some extra power and losing control of his angle. And that ball's too wide, and it's 13-7, 6-point lead for the London Fire. Cote with the serve receive, handled by the libero. Cote goes directly at Markison, and you can't bust a 7-foot block.
Yeah, and I just feel it's all emotional right now. Sense of frustration, guys trying to do too much. You know, it's impossible to play at 110%. You can't do it.
We have a substitution on the play here. Entering the game is Alexandre Henry. He replaces Jeremy Cote. A little more size on the left side. Pass by Henry. Goes to Taylor. Stopped by Markison. Outside to Henry. He continues it. Goes back to Jordan. Deep corner, handled by the defense. Keeps it in play, but they have to free ball it over. Otten to the setter. Fastball to Markison. And there again, that long limb, he can tip it over without even jumping.
Big lefty paintbrush.
Yeah, good fix by Bryce Markison.
Yeah, virtually impossible to dig those off-speed things.
Will Otten serving for the London Fire. Serves the ball deep, handled by Bailey. One-handed set, and Warren Taylor buries the ball. Lots of fans calling for a net violation, but in actual fact, there wasn't one. Overzealous parents, perhaps. But here we have Alexandre Henry for the Maverick Mustangs. Putting it in play, jump float. Good serve, but handled perfectly. Rejected. Richards by Warren Taylor. Back to Richards, and big slam block by Warren Taylor, and he's pumped now.
Mavs need a little bit of a run here. Just got to stay calm, though. Be relaxed. Take a look at the options that London has.
Now they're served by Henri. Float. Back at Otten, mishandled,
Waiting.
pass by the libero, and Andrew Richards trying to do too much. And that ball goes long. So a little swing of momentum. It's now back to a 5-point game as London Fire lead 15-10, and Coach Wayne Rabley wants to talk things over.
That's a good job by Wayne. I think a lot of coaches might be tempted with still a 5-point lead to let that slide a bit, not waste that time out early in their mind. So really good move. I think a lot of times coaches wait way too long to use those timeouts.
Yeah, there's a lot of experience in this coaching staff. I think both these fellows have been at it for about 20 years. If you were the coach of the Mustangs right now, Chris, what would you be telling them?
Really, I'd be talking about relaxing. Just take a breath, stay in the moment, one ball at a time. We know that when we're calm and controlling the ball, we're as good and or better than anybody. We've come back several times in the tournaments this season. We've beaten these guys already. Just relax, first contact. If we pass the ball to the center of the court, it's advantage us. Those big middles can't close sideways, right? So just nice controlled first contact, advantage us. On defense, stay calm, play perimeter.
Yeah, it's a tough rotation for the Maverick Mustangs. No weak blocker at the net for London Fire, but they seem to be stuck in this rotation. Quick set, there it is. Pretty tough to stop that. Bryce Markison, the 7'1" middle blocker, pounds the ball down. Great improvement by Markison over the last season.
No kidding. It's a no-win situation. You can't commit with them. If you do, you can't close outside. It's pretty tough.
Markison putting it in play. Good flat float. Pass by Bailey. Has to be forearm set. And that's Nicholas Pernaud going for the big bang, but he hit straight at Matthew Donovan, who stuffed the ball to the floor. Fire goes up 17-10, biggest lead of the match. They lead 1-0. Good pass, quick set. Oh, Warren Taylor tried to lift it over the block, but Matt Donovan slammed it down. And now we're going to have a substitution. Oh, denied by the official. Request was too late. And now first official, Jason Dodd, wants to talk it over with Captain Scott Bailey. And the Maverick Mustangs are offered a delay warning. There's no sanction really because it's just a warning. There's no points, no loss of the ball. He requested a substitution and he was denied, and he doesn't understand why.
I find it always interesting in this kind of situation. The referee sanctioned the team for delay game, and then explain that the delay is delaying the game 5 times longer than the substitution.
Well, if you're going to get penalized for it, you might as well have the delay.
Yeah.
So some explanation. Frank St. Denis seems satisfied with the explanation, and there's no substitution. So our 18-10, largest lead of the match. Best 2 out of 3, but the delay seemed to work.
Oh, good timeout. Yep.
Yeah, Markison, I think, had too much time to think about that serve. And now Warren Taylor, their big hitter from the middle, is in the back row, and he's putting the serve in play. Great float serve, but perfectly handled by Richards. The set goes out to Richards, and he finds that underneath shot deep to the 6'5" corner once again. Almost right to 6 that time.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I'd be serving one of the most athletic guys in the OVA at this part of the game.
18U national beach champion and all that. I mean, the guy can pass. Yeah, there's some better options. Float serve, mishandled by the servers. That's unfortunate. That was Piché, the libero, mishandling the serve receive, and Eric Lavallée-Funston trying very hard to recover the ball out of the net, unsuccessful, and the boys have their heads down. So Coach Francois Saint-Denis needs to refocus his boys. It's 20-11 for the London Fire.
It's just one of my favorite parts of the game. It's the most frustrating parts is trying to control the emotional swings that occur inside a match. It's the most challenging thing as an athlete to be very activated and energized, but at the same token be in control of your emotions. One of the most difficult things to learn. And sometimes you need to go through these moments where you lose control in matches before you can learn to harness that stuff. So all these guys will be better for this, but right now that's key to the whole thing as far as I'm concerned.
Very important to be informative and positive with the Mustangs at this point because they're so discouraged right now. They need to be uplifted and given some things to focus on. So we'll see what that plays out as. Cole Jordan with the serve, still not well handled, tipped by Bailey. Setter tries to dump, rejected by Bailey. Another setter dump. I'm not sure whether he was trying to trick them or if he felt he needed to, that the ball was too tight. Very tough to tell from this angle.
Good job by the coach, though. I think, bringing the guys out and having something positive happen right away. I think for all coaches out there, really important to realize that the timeout, the purpose of the timeout is to improve performance of your team. You need to uplift them and help them, right? Not scold them necessarily.
Pernot with a line shot, but great dig by the libero.
Oh.
I got to give kudos to the libero, Josh Marriott, on that dig. That was a spectacular dig because Pernot unloaded on that ball down the line.
And the frustration associated with that dig by the Mavs what led to the next error.
Yeah. It's a great job by Josh Marriott. Oh, and Richards' jump serve goes into the net, perhaps a little low toss that time, but they've got some margin for errors, so I'm not too worried about that. It's 13-21. And Scott Bailey serving for the Mustangs. Jump serve, right at Richards again, perfectly handled. And Matt Donovan on the cutback shot out of the middle, high and hard. Tunders is going to need to stay in front of that set. And block wide. He's really narrow, giving him a lot of court.
I can see why they might serve Richards when he's in the front row to try to disrupt his approach, but right now he's back row, so I really don't see the advantage.
Has to tip the ball and fix. Cole Jordan off the top of the hands. And even though Cote's gone out and 6'5", Alex Henry has come in, it still seems like a mismatch because Cole Jordan's able to go right off the top. Good pass. Scott Bailey, little tight. Oh, and Will Otten can't handle that ball. That's a lucky break for the Maverick Mustangs.
No kidding.
Do you coach that play too, Chris?
That's not the way we want the first contact to go. Positive outcome, I guess, but it's about process, right? We're after process. Good process.
In this case, they'll take the outcome. Here's Tunders with a good float serve, but right at Richards, who handles it well. Outside to Will Otten. He changes the pace. Set by Tunders. Alexander Henry was going for hands, but there weren't any there, and he went wide.
Oh, no need to do that with a single block. It's, again, the emotional stuff.
And the parents are getting into this. They're up 24-14. Match point. Gold medal game at the Ontario 18U Championships. Great serve. Handled by Henry. Ball goes to the middle. Warren Taylor again dug a fabulous ball there. Rolled by Otten goes out. And Maverick Mustangs get another shot. Piche favoring his hip there. I think he was cramping up. Once again, Josh Marriott with a fabulous defensive effort.
Can't say enough about the seasonal planning and the process for
Marriott
the London
again.
Fire.
Great pass. Goes to Marcuson. Dug by Piche. Jordan with the continue. Set goes out to Henry, and he rolls down the line, finds the open court for their 16th point, and these guys are hanging on with pure emotion.
That's what we like to see, keep fighting to the end.
Once again, they're not putting the ball in play. Good float by Pernot, right at Richards. Marcuson gets blocked. That's a full two-man commitment on Bryce Marcuson. Offense may be getting a bit predictable. They don't want to set the power hitter on the right here, so it becomes a little predictable. The block's so pushed over. There's Pernot again, this time at Jordan. Back set. It's the matchup you want. Great save by Richards. Oh, little ricochet ball there. Handled middle. Warren Taylor off Marcuson. And once again, the Maverick Mustangs. You know, the pressure's off now. I think in their minds, they got nothing to lose.
It's some interesting choices by the London team here in terms of setting. You got Cole Jordan, one of the most dominant hitters in the OVA, playing left side, and who set 3 balls in a row somewhere else.
Yeah. Pernod once again. Richards perfectly handled. Goes out to Jordan. And he rolls it into the open court. And the London Fire take the 18U Ontario gold medal at these provincial championships. Congratulations, London Fire. So that means the Maverick Mustangs take the silver. This is Brenda Willis. I'm coming to you from Rim Park in Waterloo. On behalf of Chris Lawson and myself, thank you very much for watching and have a wonderful day.
Wow.